Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day and a great evening, and then hopefully a good night. So, Princess Di won in the poll. So, it is time to do Princess Di with a tarot reading. So, like we always do, we're going to look a little bit into like a little recap, right? Hey, everybody, how are you? Jilly Bear, Copper Horse, Crystal, Bella Vida, Tia, Miss Mary, all you lovely people. All you lovely people. Hey, Tonic, how are you? All right, so let me bring up that article on Princess Di. Okay, perfect. Now we just got to share it. Hey, how are you? How are you? Welcome. Yes, you're catching one. Let me share my screen. Okay. I hate these ads. I really do. Okay. So this is from the History Channel page. So it's easy peasy to find. So, of course, look, she looked so beautiful when she married Charles. All right. So we all know the basics, right? Hey, Blue Rider, how are you? We all know the basics, right? We all know that, like, she died in the tunnel, right? By being chased from paparazzi, right? Isn't that, like, pretty much what we all gather from what remember, at least from what I remember, because I was born in 79, so I was still pretty young when all this happened. How old were you guys when this happened? Do you remember what you were doing when this happened? Yeah, I was still young too, because I'm 43 now. I was definitely young. Yep, you have about it. Yep. I think a lot of us were still pretty young, or if not getting into our teens, maybe. What about you, Jilly? What do you remember from this, Jilly? Yep, I remember hearing it on the news as well. Because I was like, we were young, right? We didn't even really know what was going. We just heard that a princess had died, right? You were born in 77? Okay. I gotcha. Oh, what year was it? Let me see. 1997. She died in 97. Wait a minute. If she died in 97, I was just turning 18. Because it says here she married Prince Charles in 81. So I was just turning 18. God, has time really flown by that fast? I couldn't remember something from 1997. That's crazy. You're not old. You're not that old, Copper Horse. You just got out of high school? Yeah, right, Crystal? Just got out of high school? 14. Yep, 97. Okay. So, Princess Diana, who married into British royalty only to later be divorced from it, devoted herself to charitable causes and became a global icon before dying in a car accident in Paris in 1997. When she married Prince Charles in 1981, Lady Diana Spencer became the first English woman to marry an heir to the throne in more than 300 years. Although their wedding was watched by millions worldwide and their marriage produced two sons, both potential heirs to the throne, it it is for her untimely death that Diana is perhaps best remembered. So they got Lady Diana Spencer, from teacher to princess. So Diana was born July 1st, 1961, to Edward John Spencer and his wife Frances. At the time of her birth, in Britain's peerage system, her father held the title of Viscount Althorp. Her parents were divorced in 1969 when she was 8, and her father won sole custody. Wow, okay, so her father raised her. Very interesting. In 1975, when Diana was 14, her father inherited the title of Earl from his own father, who passed away that year. The title has been awarded since 1765, as the Spencers have been wealthy landowners in England for centuries. Her family rented Park House, an estate owned by Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Charles's mother. During Diana's time as a child on the estate, she may have played with Charles's younger brothers, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward. Charles was 13 years older than Diana. 13 years older than Diana. Okay. Although she lost touch with him as a result of spending much of her youth attending prestigious boarding schools, Diana became reacquainted with Prince Charles after moving to London to live and work in 1978. In the capital, she initially worked as a nanny before taking a job as a kindergartner teacher at the Young England School. The courtship of Charles and Diana lasted several years before they were married at St. Paul, the cathedral in London, on July 29, 81. With the wedding, Diana was granted the title of Princess of Wales, as Charles's official royal title is the Prince of Wales. Prince Charles and Princess Diana had 2 sons, Prince William, 82, and Prince Henry, 84. Their marriage, however, was an unhappy one, marked by extramarital affairs. In 1992, they announced their separation, and they divorced officially in 96. So her humanitarian causes. Diana, who had developed an interest in music and fashion as a child, quickly became a global icon of entertainment personalities, including singers George Michael and Elton John. She was also admired because she used her fame to raise public awareness and charitable funds for issues that mattered to her. As a former teacher, she was a lifelong advocate for children and supported efforts to abolish the use of landmines. She also advocated for AIDS-related causes. She was the guest of honor at the opening of the United Kingdom's first dedicated HIV/AIDS unit in 1987, and she is credited with helping to change the public's perception of those who suffer from the disease. She famously shook the hands of patients with AIDS in front of the media. Oh, right. Wow, nice ad out of nowhere. That was crazy. In front of the media without wearing gloves, dispelling the notion that the disease is transmitted via touch. After her divorce from Prince Charles was finalized, Diana's relationship with Egyptian filmmaker Dodi Al-Fayed, the son of a billionaire and former owner of London's iconic Harrods department store, and the city's soccer team, Fulham FC Dodi. Is it Dottie or Dodi? I'm going to go Dodi. Is perhaps best known as the producer of the film Chariots of Fire. The couple's relationship quickly became the subject of tabloid fodder, and they were routinely harassed by the paparazzi wherever they went. So I'm guessing this right here, her and somewhat dating the filmmaker's son, is what got the paparazzi all in like a frenzy, right? Okay. So the death of Princess Diana on the evening of August 31st, 1997, Diana and Al-Fayed were dining privately in the Imperial Suite at Paris's famous Ritz Hotel. They had planned to have a quiet, romantic meal at the hotel's restaurant. Al-Fayed had reportedly purchased a ring for Diana earlier in the day, but they had to leave 10 minutes before they were being disturbed by the press and other patrons. At 11:30 at night, as they left the hotel to return to Al-Fayed's Paris apartment, they were hounded by paparazzi. Despite the fact that significant security precautions had been taken, including the use of a decoy vehicle, which left from the front of the hotel. Okay, very interesting. There was a decoy vehicle. Diana and Al-Fayed left the hotel using the rear entrance with French driver Henri Paul and one of the princess's bodyguards, Trevor Rees-Jones. Driving a Mercedes S280 limousine, Paul took Rees-Jones, Diana, and Al-Fayed on a high-speed trip through the boulevards and narrow streets of central Paris. Investigators later estimated that the car may have been traveling in excess of 60 miles per hour, which in all honesty is not that fast. 60 miles per hour is not that fast. At 12:19 a.m., the Mercedes carrying the couple, Paul and Reese Jones, crashed into the 13th pillar of the Pont d'Alma Bridge, which traverses the River Seine. They were less than 2 miles from the Ritz Hotel. Al-Fayed and Paul died at the scene. Diana was taken to Paris La Petite Salpêtrière Hospital. Sorry, I'm not very good with the accents. But several hours later, at 4 a.m., she died as a result of her injuries she sustained in the crash, including a severed pulmonary vein. She was 36 years old. The bodyguard, Reese Jones, survived despite suffering significant injuries. He recovered and returned to England, where he works in a family business and has published books on the experience with Diana. The death of Princess Diana was immediately followed by an unprecedented outpouring of grief from all over the world. Her funeral was held in London 5 days after her death. An estimated 1 million people lined the funeral route from her London home in Kensington Palace to Westminster Abbey, where her funeral was held. Diana is buried on a small island surrounded by a lake at Althorpe, her family's ancestral estate in North Hampshire, England. Ooh, I got the chills. Somebody's here. I got the chills for real. Investigating Princess Diana's death, initially the incident had been blamed on their French chauffeur, Henri Paul, who may have been exceeding the speed limit to avoid tabloid photographers. A subsequent inquest on the crash performed by the British police and released in 2006 ruled Diana's death a tragic accident. The inquest found that Paul had been drunk at the time of the accident and that his condition may have been worsened by prescription antidepressants he was taking at the time. In fact, the test of Paul's blood following the crash revealed that his alcohol levels were more than 3 times the legal limit in France for drunk driving. Investigators believe this caused him to lose control of the Mercedes. The inquest jury ruled that both Paul and the paparazzi chasing Diana and Al-Fayed were responsible for the crash due to gross negligence. The deaths of Diana and Al-Fayed were also ruled unlawful killings, the court equivalent of manslaughter. In addition, the jury ruled that the couple might have survived the crash had they been wearing seatbelts. No one was charged in the deaths of Diane and Al-Fayed, as Paul was himself killed. Several members of the paparazzi were questioned immediately after the accident, but were released. So we're not going to get into her legacy. All right, so well, okay. Did they switch seats? See, that's the thing, right? These are like questions that hopefully we're going to get answers to, right? Because 60 miles an hour does not sound fast at all, right? But then they're talking about how the driver, right, his blood alcohol level was way over the legal limit. So, I mean, I don't know if it's gross negligence on the driver's part, or if it's lack of seatbelts, or like we don't know if there's foul play or what happened, right? So, let's see what we get, y'all. Sorry, you guys can hear my kids playing. So I'm using the haunted house deck, which is what I usually use for tarot and true crime. This is the mini deck, so I'm able to shuffle these better. The car was crumbled for 60 miles an hour. Yeah. All right, so we want to hopefully find out, was this a legit accident? Was it gross negligence on the driver's part? Was it, okay, so immediately we got out the 4 of Swords reversed. Was it paparazzi? Like, what was it? What answers can we be given tonight? Let's see what this is. Ooh, the Tower. 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. Okay, so the Four of Swords, she was coming out of very different, I can't even talk. Hang on. I hear the kiddos. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can quiet them down a little bit. Be quiet. Sorry, all her adult brothers are teaching her how to play Xbox, so she's getting a little excited. Okay, so Four of Swords represents her coming out of a difficult period in her life, right? She was coming out of a difficult period in her life with Prince Charles and cheating, and then the divorce being finalized in 96. So the tower, this is the tower. Tower symbolizes out of chaos comes new beginnings, right? So she started this new beginning with Al Fayed. Okay. She started this new beginning with Al Fayed, Three of Pentacles, which usually represents a collaboration. Three is a crowd, right? They were both working towards the same goal for success, okay? Which to them it was money and a relationship. It was money and a relationship. Sounds like an inside job. If there's right, that's what I'm saying. If there was a decoy, like wouldn't they have followed the decoy? Okay, next is this is the devil card. Okay. She was breaking the chains that bind her. She was breaking free from Prince Charles and everything in the royal family. She was breaking free of that. Okay. She was breaking free of that with this new relationship and this new beginning she was making for herself. Because the devil reverse is breaking the chains that bind you. And then we have strength, which we all know she was following her heart on a path that felt right for herself. She was following her heart. She was following her heart. She felt she was on the right path. But we all know she was also a very strong woman, right? Strength can mean many things. But in this case, she was following her heart. She was following her heart. Ooh. Is that the, what is that? The Empress or the High Priestess? The High Priestess reversed. She wasn't trusting her instincts. She was following her heart, right? But she wasn't trusting her instincts. She didn't listen to her instincts. She had a very bad feeling about that night. She had a very bad feeling, but did not trust her instincts. She did not trust her instincts. She had a bad feeling. Then we have the 10 of Wands. She was carrying a lot of burdens. She was carrying a lot of burdens at this time. Right? Look, this almost represents her being in the car crash, right? With the fire and everything. She was carrying a lot of burdens with her. She was carrying a lot of burdens. And then we have the Queen of Wands reversed. The Queen of Wands. Exactly. So because she was carrying so much burden with herself, she didn't have enough passion. She had lost her passion, right? Which is why she was following her heart, why she this new beginning and new relationship with Afaid was starting is because she was trying to move on. She was trying to move on and break her ties from the royal family, but she carried so much, and because she carried so much, her spark was beginning to fade. Her passion was beginning to fade. Then we have 3 of Cups. Yeah, she had a very intimate bond. She had a very intimate bond with Al-Fayed. Very intimate bond with him, with the hermit. When she was with him, she was able to think more clearly when she was with him. There was something about Al-Fayed where she could be herself, and he made her have more clarity and gain her compassion back. He was kind of like her muse, you can say, right? He was kind of like her muse. But was this an inside job, or what type of job was this? Was it literally an accident, or what was it? King of Swords, 10 of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, King of Swords. This represents a cold person. This is a cold person in her life. Caused her a lot of unhappiness, okay? This person right here caused her a lot of unhappiness. And the Page of Wands. Like, if you look at the visual of these cards, right? It almost represents, like, you can almost get like a feeling of the accident through some of these cards. There's a lot of fire and darkness in these cards. There's a lot of fire and darkness in these cards. So, and the Knight of Wands is things aren't going according to plan. So, with these 3 cards right here, him being a cold, calculated man with unhappiness and what did I say that was? Things not going as planned, right? So Prince Charles's marriage with her did not go as planned. And the fact that he showed up in this reading, I'm going to say, now this is allegedly, hang on, I forgot about my banner. This is allegedly for entertainment purposes only, okay? For him showing up in here, we know that the marriage and everything did not go as planned, right? I'm going to say that he could have possibly had something to do with it if there was already a decoy. I think maybe he could have possibly led them onto the path. Exactly. I'm thinking that this possibly he could have been behind them finding the real vehicle and like kind of giving the paparazzi a heads up. That's what I'm feeling from this so far, because she was on a path. She was on a path to living a whole nother different life and breaking her ties from the royal family. She was almost out. 6 of Swords reversed. She was almost out. Yep. Because with Diana not in the picture, he was experiencing, oh wait, hang on. Wrong one. Yep, bumps in the roads, everything. Everything. Diana was causing his life to be a little unhappy. Things weren't going as planned, and she was affecting everything around him, because with her being around and her going off to receive her own happiness, he didn't have any happiness. And if he couldn't have happiness, then she wasn't going to have happiness. I legit feel that he is possibly behind the paparazzi knowing about the decoy vehicle. A very good possibility. Yeah, the Empress reversed. Yep, he was trying to get back to who he was. She was trying to get back to who she was, yes. But this is also going to go for him. He was trying to get back to who he was before her. But the thing is he couldn't get back to who he was before her, because she had already been loved by so many millions of people, more so loved than him as a prince, right? I'm going to go with he was behind everything that happened with the accident. That's what I'm going with according to these cards, because she was on the path to rediscovery. She was on the path to finding her new happiness and moving on and releasing her chains, releasing her binds from the royal family. She was on her way to do it. She was definitely on her way. Yep, she was bride in a cage. See, she felt trapped. She was trapped. Bride in a cage. She was trapped for sure. I mean, look at this. Look at this card. You can feel how trapped she was. From the time she got married, she was trapped. She was caged. She was, yeah. Like, you can just feel it in this card. She was not happy from the time she got married. Ooh, okay. Then we have, is this me? Yep, she was questioning herself. Yep, she was definitely questioning herself. I think that's all of these cards. Ooh, one more. Yeah, I feel that too. See, fragmentation. There's, like, you can feel the darkness in this card. Fragmentation. Absolutely. Now we are moving on to the true crime cards. All right. Because she was actually happy. She was making a happy life for herself without the help of the royal side, with the royal family. She was doing it all by herself without their help. And because she was loved by millions of people outside of England, they knew that she could go and be whoever she wanted to be, and she could be successful at it. Wow, guys, look. Bridge, crossway, overpass. What did she die in, y'all? What did she die in? She died in a covered crossway, didn't she? In like a tunnel? Look at that. Yeah, the world literally stopped for weeks when she passed. Absolutely. Yep, a curve in the tunnel. Okay, the who did it. Kidnapper type 2. This right here says, manipulate and brainwash victims, make sure the victims have no connection. I don't feel that this is part of that. I don't think it's a kidnapper mentality for sure. You must go to something else because you don't go to this one. I got to put you in timeout, kidnapper type 2. Wait, do we know, speaking of changing seats, who mentioned the fact of them changing seats? Because, I mean, we can't leave everything out of question, right? Because what if the original intent was for the royal family to kidnap her back and bring her back? I mean, hey, you can't rule anything out, right? What if? What if? And hello, Carrie. Hello. Yes, it was. Why? Anger, depression, greed, excitement. Yep, that explains Prince Charles, I think, at the time. That definitely explains Prince Charles to me at the time. I know, but right? We were thinking the same thing, right? Because I'm like, how do we know the original plan was never revealed because it never went through with the original plan, right? Exactly. What if the car crash isn't how it was supposed to go, right? Oh my God, how twisted. How twisted if that's not how it was supposed to go. Because there's also the comfort killer, which is kills for the soul of money and wealth. Kills for the soul of money and wealth, avoids close contact to the victim. I get the killer for hire vibe from this on Charles, which could be the kidnapper, right? Oh, holy crap. Oh, holy crap, right? Was it a topic, Blue? Yeah, because I'm getting it was a hit put on her to kidnap her by Charles, but for some reason, maybe now that's not how it went down, and somehow there was an accident and there was deaths out of it. That's what I'm taking from these cards so far. That's what I'm getting from these cards so far. And Prince Charles was definitely behind it. Prince Charles was definitely behind it. Oh, who is his mistress? Who is his mistress? Alcohol involved switching of the seats. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. But I do know for a fact from these cards right here, it's definitely a possibility. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only, but I'm getting that the royal family was definitely behind this, and specifically Charles. I'm getting specifically Charles was behind this. And I don't know if I get the feeling that the car crash wasn't how things were supposed to go. The car crash isn't what was supposed to originally happen. Harry are the only relatable royals. True, could be. Because it was a King of Swords, so it could have been, yeah. It doesn't have to be Charles. I mean, it was a King of Swords. It was the King of Swords, right? So it could be anyone. It's definitely a male vibe, right? It's definitely a male presence behind that. So it could be any one of the males and the male royals. You are absolutely correct. It could be. Absolutely, right? It's like all kind of starting to come together. God, everything is so questionable, right? Everything is just so questionable. Because you would think being a princess would be like a dream come true, but for her it was literally a nightmare. She literally had the bride in the cage card. I mean, from the time she got married, she was caged, she was trapped, she was chained. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy. And then the fact that she was off to make a new life for herself, but then whoever this person was right here, whoever this person is, was behind the whole thing. This person was behind the whole thing. Unhappiness, things not going as planned. Absolutely, because she was off to having her own happy life again. Shame on them. Absolutely shame on them. Agreed, completely agreed. There's a lot of rules, right? As we found out with Meghan Markle, right? There's a lot to being a princess. And Meghan Markle's like, nope, I ain't doing that. And good for her. And good for her. Absolutely, she could have. Absolutely, she could have been playing the strings behind the whole thing. Absolutely. You have noticed what the royals like die? Meghan Markle struggled with. Yep. So media, public, and people within the royal family gave die. And I give them exactly right. So people that aren't like made for the royal life are always given the hard time, right? Like look how Kate knew how things were from whenever her and Prince William met when they were younger, right? So she knew from right away that she was going to be married to a prince. So she was already groomed and taught to be a certain way when you're married to a prince. These two, not so much, right? Kate's like the perfect example of what you're supposed to be and act like when you're out in public with the royals. Like, she is a perfect example of what you're supposed to be, right? You don't defy any rules. You follow them to a T. Oh, let me go get my notebook. Where'd my notebook go? Here it is. Okay, y'all. So for next week, what do I hang on? I got the poll for next week. Then we have to do for the week after. Where's the poll? Okay. So we did. Okay. Next week poll is Zodiac Killer, Brian Laundrie, Natalie Holloway, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. Those are the next 4 for next week. Now we need more for the following week. I was thinking we could probably do do you guys want to shoot any ideas out here for the following week? Let's do Kurt Cobain again for the following week. Who else would you guys like to see? Kurt Cobain doesn't have to be nationally world known case. There was someone else. Who was I thinking of? Oh, do you guys remember the trial of Gabriel Hernandez, the little kid that was abused so much from the Netflix documentary? She was already free, but they wanted her out of the spotlight because, yes, exactly. She was so beloved. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna add Kaylee Anthony to here again. Casey Anthony's daughter. Yes, Sophie Lancaster. I'm going to put that in here. Sophie Lancaster. Yep, I heard about it. All right, y'all. So be prepared for another poll. I'm going to clean this up and I'll get the poll started. And you guys can head on over to Natasha's because she should be starting her karaoke night tonight. So don't forget to head on over there, okay? And thank you guys for coming and always showing support for me, especially on Terror and True Crime Night, because I love it. So you guys have a really great rest of your night. And don't forget, for tomorrow is dreaming, understanding what your dreams are. What do they mean? Do not forget to come by Friday night, because I'm trying to have special guest Amanda Zananda. I'm trying to have her stop by so we can discuss dreams together, since she is so perfect for these dreams. Okay. So she will be special guest tomorrow. So don't miss out on talking about dreams tomorrow night. You guys have a great rest of your night. And I love you all. Thank you all for your support, and have a good night. Bye, y'all. You want a link for Natasha? Sure. Hold on one second. I'll get it. I shall get it. Hold on. Let me get it for you. No worries. Saturday tonic. We are continuing the last of the readings. So Saturday, definitely be there Saturday. This is Natasha's live for karaoke she's got going on. So head on over there, you guys, and I'll catch y'all over there. Until then, I will see you over at Natasha's. And then tomorrow is discussing our dreams. So do not miss it. Like I said, I love you guys. You guys have a great night.